Hi. I just wanted to make some points here because I just looked. I'm too lazy to. Well, we can hear a few airplanes coming or going. I just think I'm too lazy to type this down. And I just still want to say for many people that this is our wake-up call with all what's happening at the moment. So the main thing is what I feel it's the planet has had enough with us. We have entered in a state which I call close distancing, when you or other people visit our friends or family, and we've been constantly using our phones during the time, ignoring the presence of elderly people, of our family, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and just being constantly using our phones, chatting with some other people while in the presence of our closest people who we didn't realize how much we miss until now. Now we are realizing this when we can't see them, when we are restricted, and it's mostly happen when we are restricted from our liberties to realize what we have lost. It's just a natural human trait where you appreciate something only when you lose it. The other thing what I want to say is that we have to realize, and many people have realized, that we are all part of the chain. It's a financial chain, or it's our existence depends on each other. A lot of people realize that they have to take care of other people who are the weaker, but they are important link in the society. So we have to take care of the weakest links to be able to survive, like the laborers, cleaners, and all those people who can't support themselves. It's our duty to help them because we really can't exist without them. But it's the time now when we realize that. What other things, what I still can't understand is a lot of people don't take this seriously, and they think it's life, it's only about entertainment. I see a lot of people are bored, and they are just thinking how to entertain themselves during the lockdown, and trying all sorts of silly stuff and things, which it's probably a time people you learn something. You learn something about yourself, or you teach your kids something, or just learn something. Boredom, it's a very how to say, it's a quality of people who, I mean, I'm not gonna classify now, but I believe it's a wake-up call for people who been living upon entertainment. It's just time you teach, stay at home, find something, teach your kids just another language, or just teach them something which you personally you haven't been able to learn to play instrument, just learn something, whatever, but just learn something. Another thing what I realized for myself, I mean, I always knew that because I've been through difficult times before. Another thing is that we can live with very, very little. I see when many restaurants and cafes have been closed, and Of course, it affects their existence, the cafes and restaurants, but again, we have wasted a lot of money and time in those places, and we lived without, we can live without it. We can live with less time spending in the cafes, in the restaurants, and probably spend less money and save a lot for other more essential stuff. And yet nobody is dead, nobody is hungry without being to the restaurants. Perhaps a lot of people learn to cook at home, which is a good thing, and you can feed your kids, and you can just be more useful at home rather than keep buying food, prepared, ready food for your kids, and they don't really know what is the food cooked by their mothers. I know a lot of people like that. So those are the essential things, and probably so many other which we don't still, I think many people don't realize, but think this is time for me, since I've been in self-isolation, probably to think about a lot of things, and realize and observe the society, myself, and just how people react or respond to events. What surprises me is that still at this time difficult, really, when the governments try to impose some methods or technology to monitor the people who have been infected. Still many people talk about security and privacy. I have no idea how you can manage on your own. I'm just specifically asking those people who think about their security, privacy, that they've been monitored, and how you can survive on your own if you don't have the government, or if you don't have the health services. How would you survive without them? If you don't want to be monitored, would you stay at home if you get really sick and you don't want to, you need help? Do you realize that we are all part and we are all together in this, and that we need each other, and your privacy and security is it's not essential at the moment? And what do you guys really do that you worry about your privacy and security? Because I personally have nothing to hide, and I am prepared to be monitored or observed for the sake of the whole society, because it's not only about me, it's about everybody. It's about, that's again what I said before, it's about the chain, that we need each other financially, physically, because you have to understand that the economy depends on each other. If I am not able to buy food from the supermarket, there will be many like me, and the supermarket won't be able to exist. And so do the people who produce all these foods and items they're sold in the supermarket. So we just all will collapse if we all slowly disappear, and people will not be able to exist, because again we depend on each other. It's just, you have to understand that everything around yourself, what we use, it's produced by somebody. And also you produce stuff which you expect other people to use, and we are not self-sustainable. We are not able to exist on our own. So please ignore your self sense of security and privacy, because nobody at this moment, I believe the crime rates are very low, unless from people who try to use the situation and make more money selling expensive things which are on demand. But in general, I believe the crime rates probably have been reduced to minimum, or at least have been reduced in general, until the time when some people become so poor, which we don't want to come, and they start looting places and supermarkets and stores for just unable to exist or survive. So we really don't want to get to that state, and we have to be sensible. Please, to the landlords, appeal, reduce your rents, because if your people who are living there disappear, they die or they leave, you won't be able to find somebody right now in this moment. So please be considerate, reduce the rents. Like my own landlords of our business property as well, the house where we live, being very considerate and reduce the rent probably with 30%. So I am very grateful. There are still people with good hearts and humans who are aware of the situation and considerate of this chain which we are all part of. So I don't know what else to say. There are many things to be said and done, but please sit and think about essential stuff. Don't think about how to entertain yourself or your kids. Just sit and discuss the situation. It's, like many people already said, is unprecedented situation, where also we cannot blame governments, leaders, or because nobody exactly knows what to do and how to do it. It's a situation where no experience, prior experience will help. It's just a critical who will get the right decision, and how this will react down the chain. It's still unknown. We don't know what will happen. There is no adequate response to the situation. I mean, I'm absolutely not an expert, but it's obvious that nobody knows exactly what's the right thing to do. And moreover, nobody knows exactly what this virus is doing. And all conspiracy theorists, yeah, they probably enjoy big time attention, but the truth is that we don't know anything, and everything is just theories. Even the scientists, I think, even if there was some conspiracy theory that this virus was created in a lab, I think even they're out of hand, and they're out of control in the situation. So it's a big mess in the whole world, but all we have to do is just unite and listen to our leaders, and whatever they say, it's right or wrong, but we have to comply so we don't create chaos and disorder.